Find out why this, or something similar which you see on the LALATE set every day, is one of the best ways to keep holiday cheer. Meantime, breaking news about your stimulus minutes after morning's LALATE, as one of the #1 people in the Biden administration speaks out about stimulus, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, and relief right now. It's shocking news, and I have the breaking news for you in this great midday update of Holidays LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Holidays LALATE. Hope you are good and safe. The candle is flickering. You're here, and we're going to have a great day. If you're new to Holidays LALATE, this is the midday program on this channel that's lighthearted, very fresh, and very simple. It gives you about a 5 to 10 minute update about stimulus, breaking news, and then goes into some holiday cheer. Some ways to decorate for cheap, for free, or literally pennies on the dollar, and keep the holiday spirit economical during this time of the pandemic. It's a great day, and I'm so glad you're here. If you've not subscribed, please go to the phone channel, subscribe, because I'm getting people money right now. Not 5 weeks from now, not 5 days from now, but right now. Also, like this video. In this video, I'm going to be going over the shocking remarks by Ron Klain, who spoke minutes ago to Chuck Todd on Meet the Press, NBC, and spoke about what's going on with Joe and Mitch. Yes, Chuck asked the questions I would ask, and finally we have some answers. Also, I'll be going over those incredible remarks by President Donald Trump yesterday about your stimulus. And then we get to how to do holiday decor with lights that is cheap, economical, and brings a very festive mood into the home that is pet-friendly and kid-friendly. Oh, this is good stuff. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that Ron Klain, who is one of the #1 people in the Biden-Harris administration and could be his potential next chief of staff, was on Chuck Todd and Meet the Press on NBC minutes ago. And during that interview, Chuck Todd asked about stimulus, asked a lot of questions, and the answers were quite interesting. Now, this is the #1 person, one of the #1 people in the Biden-Harris administration, could be his next chief of staff. And he was asked basically in totality, why don't you do stimulus? Why don't we get stimulus right now? Where is the stimulus right now? What's going on with Mitch? What's going on with you? Let me give you the answers and the play-by-play. You're going to be surprised. First, he was asked, has Joe Biden speaking to Mitch McConnell about stimulus? Answer, no. I just dropped my jaw when I heard that. Then he was asked, when do they intend to talk? I don't know. Okay, that's over 2 there. Not very reassuring news. Then he said, why aren't they talking? Well, it's Mitch McConnell's job to get things done. Okay. Also not reassuring. Then he was asked, Ron Klain by Chuck Todd. Okay, well, Mitch McConnell offered a series of proposals, and there have been other proposals, like the Problem Solvers Bill, $1.5 trillion. Mitch McConnell once was in $1 trillion. Mitch McConnell's offered, unemployment at a certain number. It was turned down. He offered other things. It was turned down. Why not just accept what Mitch McConnell has offered so far and take that for about 30, 60 days so millions of people will get some money, and then come back in January and get the more robust plan that the Democrats may want then? That seems sort of logical, doesn't it? $300 a week under Mitch McConnell. Well, this is November, so you could go retroactively, and that could be, about $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 land in your bank account under Mitch McConnell's numbers. Take it now. It's money that's there. The answer, again, was a little bit surprising. He said, well, I'm happy with Nancy Pelosi and what she's done. Well, then Chuck Todd said, well, why is holding out for a very large, robust Nancy Pelosi plan good when millions of Americans want to get something done? And then Mr. Clan said, well, two Tuesdays ago, American people came to the polls and decided that they wanted bipartisan relief and they want to get things done. They don't want to see senators and congressmen battling over numbers anymore. They want to have bipartisan relief. Well, that's exactly true. And then he said, so I have faith in Nancy Pelosi. Those two things don't fit in the same sentence. You see the problem that's starting to erupt, and we're only less than 14 days after the election, that we're being told that bipartisan relief needs to be sent out, in which there's a spirit of compromise, and the spirit of compromise is my way or the highway. He was specifically asked, why not you just take what Mitch McConnell's offered? Why not go halfway? Why not go what Steve Mnuchin was offered? Why not do the problem solvers bill? And he says, I'm happy just doing it my way or the highway. Just not reassuring. It sounded sort of like a Nancy Pelosi, pitch on Chuck Todd. It was a little bit surprising. And then when Chuck Todd went to the numbers, and yeah, he did, he said, why not just send out relief just now? And it's some relief, and people need relief. It could be a couple $1,000s, and they could get that money right now. Why are you battling over a big ballooned plan? You could do that plan in January. You don't need to do that plan now. Then he said, well, cities need money. They're going bankrupt. Okay. All right, so we heard about the cities are more important than you. We heard about the states that are more important about you. We heard that we need to hold up everything unless everything is given exactly how it's to be wished and wanted by the Temple of Doom. Now, ultimately, this is not Joe Biden speaking, and ultimately Joe Biden may have a different opinion of the situation. But this representative, speaking on behalf of the Biden transition team, did not say statements that were reassuring to anyone, based upon that are actually contradictory to everything that Joe Biden has said in the last 24 or 48 hours. Joe Biden said that he wanted to reach across the aisle and get things done with Mitch McConnell. Joe Biden has done things with Mitch McConnell categorically over time. And boy, this comes after 24 hours ago when Donald Trump had incredible great news when he said that Congress needs to do a bipartisan relief and send it out right now. Send out stimulus checks right now. And this was incredible great news. Mitch McConnell said his first item of business was sending out stimulus, but that was last Monday. Today is Sunday. So people are starting to wonder what's going on. And clearly, if you watched that interview with Chuck Todd, 9 out of 10 questions were evasive. Answers were evasive. They were not on point. They were not answering the question specifically. The only time you got a clear answer was, did you ever speak to Mitch? No. Let me be very clear about this situation of speaking or not speaking, because I've talked about it on this channel. Anyone can speak with anyone. That's very clear. I could speak with Mitch McConnell. You could speak with Mitch McConnell. Your mom could speak with Mitch McConnell. Your uncle could speak with Mitch McConnell. Anyone could speak with Mitch McConnell. Ultimately, only one person can write Senate bills, senators. Even Nancy Pelosi can't write a Senate bill. She's not in the Senate. She's in the House. The president can't write a Senate bill. Joe Biden can't write a Senate bill. Only senators can write a Senate bill. And only House members can write a House bill. But if they don't write it, there's nothing to do. And so this is where people start to get a little anxious and a little frustrated because two people are acting silly again. Now, the great news, as you tuned into Morning to LA today, is that there's 3 types of money you can get right now. Money right now. So if you're sitting back and saying, I don't like what I'm hearing about Klan on Chuck Todd, sit back and relax, because there's 3 types of great money you can get right now. I detail them mornings at LA. I'll detail them more on afternoons at LA at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. And I'll answer your questions about them on Purple Power Live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. First, you can get CARES Act 1 money that is in your city or counties, that is dedicated to your cities and counties for rent, for food, for stimulus checks, for hazard pay. It's all incredible great news. You get that by going on Google News and looking for it under CARES Act plus grant plus check and the name of your city or county. And if it's not there today, check again tomorrow. It might be there tomorrow. Next, if you're an independent contractor, sole practitioner, if you're an Uber Lyft driver, a Grubhub driver, a Postmates, an Airbnb operator, a contractor who's a solo, anyone who makes money not as a W-2, and declares it on a 1099 Schedule C on their tax return when they go to do their, I just butchered that. Anyone that declares their income on their Schedule Schedule C on their tax return, you can go get an EIDL. It's incredibly great news. You don't have to, it is free money between now and next a year from now. You don't have to pay anything back. And then after that, you pay it back slowly over 30 years, which is categorically incredible. So if you made $6,000 last year and it didn't cost you anything, then you would get a $3,000 loan from SBA. If your Experian Vantage score is over 570, learn more about that on Purple Power Live. I'll answer your questions about that, and I'll have more about that on Check. Finally, you can get an escalated unemployment benefits. So if you're already on unemployment benefits, but at the base level number, this is the UI or PUA number, not the FPUC number, the UI or the PUA number. You can raise it if you had a certain amount of income in 2019. Generally, about $20,000 or more qualifies you to raise it. And if you're at $30,000 or more last year, you could be at full benefits. Full benefits is about $300 to $400 a week. It could be a difference of $100 a week. And if you've been on unemployment for 30 weeks, that's $3,000, all right now money. All right, let's turn to some holiday cheer, and let's have a lot of fun. Let's have a lot of fun and cover something different today. What I've not covered yet on this channel for holiday cheer is how to use lights that are inviting and fresh and surprise the eye during the holiday season with existing lights you have or with new add-ons that are both pet-friendly and kid-friendly. And this is how we do it. People always ask me about the LALATE set, which is slightly always changing a little bit as well. And if you don't realize, the lighting in the background behind me has changed in the last day or two. How is that, and what is going on? Well, even though it's daytime here and it's a little bit overexposed, the light, so I have the light coming in from the window and I have the light in front of me. There's a lot of light in here. If I drop the light, you would see the background light more pronounced because we're in the middle of the day and the light's pretty bright. But even with that disclaimer, let me explain some of the best things you could do for holiday lights. First, use any type of light you have around. People always think when you do holiday lights, you have to have Christmas lights. You have to have those strands that you get at the store for $5, $6. You don't have to have holiday lights. You can do it with any type of light. And if you don't realize, behind me, there's actually not one, but two sets of different lights in the background. Can you figure out by looking at the background how many lights are in there? It's pretty hard to tell, and that's why it's done on purpose. It's supposed to be natural and hard to pick out the nuances of the light. First, let me go with the most obvious example. These are battery-operated candles. Battery-operated candles are available on Walmart for as little as $5 or in your local store. They come in all sizes. And when I mean $5, I don't mean $5 a candle. I mean $5 for like 10 of them. They come out to about anywhere between 50 cents to $1 a candle. What's incredible about them is that they're cat, dog, pet friendly, and kid friendly. There really are no candle. There is no candle. There's no light, no flame, or no open flame. They are purely battery operated. These are battery operated. They are LED. And what's important to look at for when you're getting a candle lit, and you see I'm more in frame now, so it's going to be less easy to see the impact of the candle if I bring it back more. What you see with a candle, let me put it in the set here. Oh, now you can see it actually very, very pronounced here, where we're more into the darkness, is that you want to look for a candle that has a nice flame flickering. And they generally disclose them in the boxes. Let me turn you to this candle, for example. This one here has a really quite pronounced flickering of flame. Now, every candle has a slight variation, but ultimately, you want a candle that gives you the biggest and most pronounced flame. And if it's lower than the line of sight, you can see the top of the candle as much as the bottom of the candle. So remember, when you're looking at candles, if they're lower than you when you walk into a room, like on a dining room table, they're lower than you, you will see the top of the candle. And then if they're higher than you, you'll see the base of the candle. In this case, you see here the base of the candle. We're lower than the line of sight of the candle. So now you see the flickering of the candle from the side. You can't see the top. And you see how pronounced that is. It's literally flickering. It's, no candle by natural existence usually flickers that strong. But there you go. The bigger the flicker, the bigger you flick something. We're always flicking people here on the show. Next, can you pick out the other lights in the background of the set? Well, there is other lights. There's newly added, if you notice, if you tune in every single day, the lights have been changing slightly. There's a light behind this candle. Let me go here. There's light behind this candle. It's this blue hue you see here. And there's light up here. There we go. In this area behind this candle. And there's a third light. Let's see if I can get my hand in frame behind here. People don't often think to light up the flowers or the plants or the pottery in your home, but you should. If you have a dining room table and you followed any of the suggestions of this channel, like putting a coffee pot on the dining room table, or putting coffee beans, or putting a big fronton you found in the front yard, or any sort of natural droppings of tree or limbs that I've gone over in this channel, you need to light it. And the way you light it in the cheapest way is getting a simple little flashlight you may have sitting around and put it hidden in the lamp, in the display. Put it hidden in the display. People often think that when you do Christmas lights, you have to do a Christmas tree. No. Any form of battery operated lighting inside the display helps it pop. If you don't see, this plant has a little bit of a pop to it. The reason it has a pop is because there's actually a light in it. And that dynamic creates the backdrop. Now, if you tune into Evenings LA when the light is dropped in the background and you see the outside is completely dark, then you see more of the impact of the light. And that's what's incredibly great. Certainly during times of social distancing and times of the pandemic, you may have less people over for the holidays than usual. But even for you and your family, just putting a few lights in a display can make the impact especially rich. And for cents on the dollar, or for free with your existing lights sitting around. You turn them on when you're about to have the meal, and you turn them off. It's energy efficient, it's pet friendly, and it's kid friendly. And it's a way to do holiday cheer for cents or for free. Coming up next is Afternoons LA at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and save LA for more.